Welcome to the Town Outdoor Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm JD.
I'm Fred, sorta.
Captain Paul Tire.
And I'm Grant.
Okay. All right. So we got to get the 190-pound squirrel out of address the 190-pound squirrel in the room.
Yeah, 145.
Yeah.
100 what?
145.
145.
Yeah,
With some big.
If you eat enough carrots, you might.
I brought these nuts.
Yep, you did. I see you got these nuts in your hand.
Yeah, I do.
Acorn.
So before we get too deep down this squirrel hole.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, you might wanna.
So Fred, it's Halloween that we're recording on Halloween, and every year Fred, the attorney, Fred Conrad Esquire, goes to court wearing a dadgum Halloween costume.
This year I was an S-squirrel.
And you were Fred Conrad Esquirrel, and he is dressed up in a full-blown dadgum. The phone keeps making noise, and I can't make it be quiet. And in a squirrel, in a squirrel outfit, gloves, tail. Let me grab your tail here. You like that, don't you?
Yeah. Always wanted you to grab my tail. Just don't touch these nuts.
Don't worry, I have no intention. That is, y'all got it.
I sent my wife a picture.
We're gonna have to put a picture of this.
I sent my wife a picture of it a while ago, and she goes, he's a nut, and I said, no, he's these nuts, and I said, send her the other picture.
Yeah.
See if I can get all this in on.
She get a picture of the tail. Yeah,
Stand up, Fred,
Yeah,
so I can post this to Facebook.
And
You would have put.
There you go.
It's a little squirrely today.
Oh man! All right, y'all check out our Facebook page. We'll put some pictures of this idiot on there.
I don't know if you were my attorney and I was facing criminal charges and you showed up like that, I don't know if I would be happy and laugh or be mad or what.
You read my mind. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I guess it just would depend on whether or not you got me out of whatever trouble I was in eventually.
And I've actually argued motions with a costume.
Somebody files for what is that when you don't get enough
legal representation
and later on, my attorney showed up to court in a squirrel outfit. And I don't know, the judge was extremely distracted.
I mean, she just wasn't taking me seriously. I can't understand.
Well, you kept going. That's a duck.
Kind of a sick squirrel. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Isn't
that how they do it?
That's enough. I don't know. All I know is they make a heck of a racket. You shuffle around some leaves and stuff when you're out hunting. When the squirrels are out, it's like, well.
Man, we ought to tie him up, Charlie. I mean, right now, let's just throw a hood over him and tie him up, put him in a sack, and go take him out in the middle of the woods somewhere where people are hunting and turn him loose and just.
Somebody shoot him. Why'd you shoot him? Well, I figured none of my friends gonna believe what I saw, so unless I killed it.
A trophy squirrel.
There you go.
That's why I know there ain't really no Bigfoots out there, is because some hunter would have done shot it now just so they could stuff it and show it off to their buddies, and so there ain't no big feats.
There ain't no such thing as Bigfoot, because somebody either have a good trail camera picture of him or would have shot one. Yes, fully agree.
It was quite the experience in the courtroom this morning.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Attorney-client privilege.
Is there a punchline to
talk
that?
about it? But
I just.
So who was the judge today?
It was Judge Ashenoffy Richardson.
Okay.
And told her my client was acting squirrely, and so I was going to give her these nuts. And
that went over. Yeah.
She took me back to chambers and got a picture.
Man. Now, see, if a cop showed up to court, here's how you get away with that. It's because you are Fred Conrad, and nobody expects much out of you when it comes to proper behavior, Fred. That's what it is.
Willie Meggs was my old boss back when I was a baby lawyer, and, he'd call me in the office because I'd cause some kind of ruckus in the courtroom, imagine that. Mm-hmm. And I explained to him what I did, and he said, I think you've learned a valuable lesson. He says, always make them think you're crazy, and they'll leave you alone. So I took that advice.
Took that advice and ran with it and been running with it all this time.
And it's worked over the years.
Well, if it works for you, Fred, stick with it.
I actually got 2 cases dropped this morning, believe it or not,
In the squirrel suit.
in the squirrel suit.
Wow.
You try negotiating with the prosecutor in a squirrel suit. It worked.
I don't have what it takes to show up in a public place wearing that. That'd be like, hey, why don't you dress up?
You got to be a little nuts.
Yeah. Well, Fred, there you go.
I mean, to do what I do, you got to be nuts anyway.
So let me ask you a question, Fred.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So every Halloween you do this. Do you buy these, rent these? Where do you get these things from?
I run across them over the course of the year, and I saw this one, and I thought, yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I try to top each year, although I think
How long ago did you have this one, in the pipeline, ready to go?
this one didn't show up until about 3 days ago.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what I
You
was
were
gonna-
late.
I was late. Well, I was, I actually had another idea. I had a Trump wig and a king outfit.
That would have
I
been
think
good.
the squirrel went over better in court.
You might not have made it to court dressing like that. Somebody would have accosted you on the street.
Might have.
I'm like, we don't let him in the courtroom. Why not? No kings.
Yeah. That's what and that one didn't even come out of the bag, but might wear it tonight around.
Oh,
the
so you
neighborhood.
have it.
I got it.
You actually have.
I also found a full pineapple suit. So it's like a 3-piece suit, but it had embroidered
All
with
pineapples.
all pineapples, and I was going to
Whatever you do, don't turn them upside down in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I was
don't go
gonna-
walk around the neighborhood and stand on your head. You
was
will
Don't
get
get them
accosted.
invitations.
I was going to swing into court.
So this is getting. These jokes are getting pretty deep. Y'all, there's people out there talking about what? I don't get that. What's he talking about? Well, just Google it.
Google upside down pineapple.
Well,
It's
yeah.
kind of like the scrunchies from the villages.
The
Go ahead and Google
Villages,
them too while you're googling color codes for the scrunchies on your golf cart in the villages.
So I sent a picture of the pineapple suit to my wife yesterday.
She said, "Ain't no way."
She just said, "No, just no."
Oh, it's a suit. It's actually a sports coat.
It's a sports coat, the tie, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, I thought you were
See,
dressing up
I
like
was-
a pineapple.
I was picturing SpongeBob's house.
Yeah, I mean,
If they'd have had a pineapple in my size,
Yeah,
I
well, if you
probably-
notice, those pineapples are right side up.
They are, but I think the meaning's pretty clear. I mean, if you got a full suit adorned with pineapples,
But you bought it.
it was $69, so I didn't. Just saying, that was the price tag.
All right, moving on. Hey, we got to give Fred his due. He dressed up in this deadgum squirrel suit, wearing the gloves in the studio too.
I just got to play the part. I mean, we're on YouTube.
You're hiding behind your microphone the whole time, though,
Well,
so
yeah,
I don't know if they can really
I don't know.
see that.
oh,
There you go.
don't be one of them days.
I just want him to go run around out there in the front of the building in the grass and let me get my BB gun and see how many times
we
I
got
can
a
get him.
CO2 full auto BB gun back there in the back. We could chase him across the parking lot with
But
that.
the number of rednecks and pickup trucks in that parking lot right now, I
Little
was a
scared.
little nervous coming in.
Little
here.
nervous.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I mean,
There's one of them over there looking at AR saying, "Oh, we're gonna make you squeal."
You didn't say that.
Well, something like that. Kind of hard to hear with this thing on, so could have been something else.
it does got a lot of fluff around the
It
face.
does. Yeah.
I think you said you
Probably
can't
keep
be
it
for
pretty
real.
Maybe that's
So
what.
you heard something
make you-
different
I'm gonna
because
make you
you
squeal.
paranoid. That's why you thinking. You thinking just because you cute and got that fluffy tail, somebody's,
I think it's the only time you've ever called me cute, and I don't like
Well,
it. I mean,
it's
it's,
this is the most ridiculous I've ever seen you look in my entire life of knowing you since we first met in the hallways of the courthouse somewhere on some case we were either working together on or opposing each other. I've never I mean, all right, we got pictures over here of you in a chicken suit. And that looks pretty ridiculous, but I think I like this one better, Fred.
You
I
do?
think I like the squirrel better.
I try to.
Something about
talk
that
over
fluffy
here.
tail. I like that thing. Let me touch that thing again. Why are your face turning red? you just wait till the break. And we're back. So enjoyed that on the break there, Fred. It was awesome. Seeing you take that squirrel suit off like that, man.
Don't choke on your sandwich over there.
I still got these nuts.
Why are you clinging to them like that? Afraid somebody's going to take them from you?
Yeah, I don't know. You've been eyeing me looking at the
Anyway, so right before the show started, you asked a question about California and Glocks.
I did.
And I know we discussed a little bit on the last show, which were you here for that one?
No, I was in Colorado, which I
That's
got
right,
some
you
show
were
and
gone.
tell items to talk about that too.
So anyway, so
We've been selling a lot of Glocks this week.
Yeah.
It has spurred the market for people buying Glocks. I guess that we're just waiting for just such an occasion. No, the state of California is sued along with I think Illinois.
It's not just a
maybe
lawsuit.
Massachusetts. There's been several. There's been several blue states that sued Glock because of the ease in which a criminal can 3D print a device to go in the gun to make the gun function as a machine gun.
Correct. It's not just lawsuits.
Right. There's
California is
Passing the
Newsom
law.
has actually signed a ban aimed at Glocks.
yeah.
Takes effect, I want to say, July 26th.
Well, see, by July 26, you can just about bet your bottom dollar that Glock will probably have a Gen 6 out now. Out there, at the end of November, they'll have the V model, which is essentially Gen 5.5. That will not let you put a switch in it anymore, and
Right.
they're going to probably introduce I'm guessing they will introduce the 6 probably at SHOT Show, which is in the end of January. That's my guess. I don't have any inside knowledge or haven't talked to anybody, or that's just I'm presuming all of that. So.
Well,
I hate seeing the changes because there's going to be some parts compatibility issues for those of us that work on them from time to time.
Probably going to be. It's probably going to be substantial.
That's
as
what I
well.
was going to
There's
ask.
Substantial
So
difference.
Glock
Well,
mags are going to be easily, convertible or compatible. In your existing Glock that you've got, existing Glock 19 Gen 5 or whatever, and now this 5.5, the V, right? You would hope that those
Magazines will be compatible.
I can't imagine them changing the magazine for the V when they're probably going to come out with a 6 later on. And if they change the magazine for the 6, that would be a terrible thing on their part too, because Glock magazines, one of the biggest reasons that so many people, it's like the carbines and stuff. I like to run carbines for different purposes, and I always use Glock compatible carbine because that's what I run is Glocks. And so if you take the Glock magazine and then the next law enforcement pistol is a version 6, and they're not compatible, then that's not going to be a good thing. And there's no reason for them to change the magazine.
There's no reason to change the mag wheel. So hopefully I can't imagine them doing that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the holster compatibility may change with the version with the Gen 6, Generation 6. You may have holster compatibility issues if
And I
they
don't
make
think
the frame.
Glock cares about that.
And they don't because
Right.
but law enforcement agencies do because of the holsters that they use now. A lot of agencies that have body cameras also have holsters that have a device in there that tells the body camera to turn on when the gun comes out of the holster.
Like a switch.
Well,
Like a switch.
Switch.
I was trying to avoid using that word.
Glocks have a switch.
Yeah, no, their holsters have a magnetic switch in there. When the gun is drawn, it automatically turns the body camera on.
Yeah.
And those are expensive. Those holsters are cost about half as much as the gun does.
Wow.
They're not cheap.
And so, is it true that the origin of this Glock switch, I'm sure you've probably got like Americans that are, adding them. But I remember reading stories about in the last few years, especially under the Biden administration, China was flooding
The market on
gangs were like funneling these Glock compatibility switches into the American market, and they're turning up in gang violence. They're turning up
That's
in
the
cartel
reason-
violence.
You could order them online.
You could get them on Wish.com and
Yeah. And then
Temu and places like that.
Then they started tracking them when they
Right.
would come in. There was a firearm seized in Tallahassee just the other day in a criminal case, and Glock had a switch on it.
Yeah, that's correct.
I go back to this.
We have, you and I own legal, registered Glock switches that we got 6 or 7 years ago that are serialized, stamped essentially as part of our business. We have some. We can legally convert a Glock pistol to a machine pistol with those devices. They're metal, very well made, whatever.
They're fun to shoot for
Fun
about,
to play with for about
one
two
magazine.
yeah, one or
and
two
that's
magazines, and you
you're
kind
done.
of go, ooh,
Okay, that's a lot of ammo.
It's expensive in a hurry.
So I go back to this. If there's a thug out there on the street and I got the choice of him having a semi-automatic, pull the trigger and
some training
and some little bit of training, or somebody with the spray and pray full auto Glock, I'd rather duck the one time when they go and then I get up and actually take an aim shot, and then I think we can end that fight pretty quick. But just depends on how many times he reloads. But the thing is that what makes that so bad is that they are not trying to hit the target that is their intended target, the person that they don't like, and they're just putting a bunch of rounds down range, which is why so many innocent children and bystanders get hurt on these street level shootings.
Very indiscriminate fire, and that's whatever.
Well, the reason that they passed the law in California was because of a shooting where what Charlie just talking about. That's
collateral damage.
Yeah, but if you look at the guy that did it, he already had a rap sheet a mile long. He had just been released early. This is California.
Yeah, of course.
The guy he was serving a 10-year sentence for taking his girlfriend, pulling her out by the hair, beating her senseless with a belt, so bad that one witness said that they couldn't see her eyes, and so they gave him a 10-year sentence. Well, because of their sentencing scheme, which I think is far too little for something like that. Especially when a guy had a rap sheet a mile long, dating back to 2013. His name was Smiley Martin, I think. And, heck of a name. And he had one of those illegal converted Glocks.
Which wasn't legal for him to probably even have a gun in the first place.
So rather than going back and looking at their sentencing scheme, they decided to ban Glocks.
Yeah.
And this guy shouldn't have been on the street to begin with.
But they're not getting anything away from anybody because they're all out there. They're not going to ever get them back up. And the thing is, so first off, I don't think that a full auto firearm has any practical application. However, I don't think they should be controlled by the federal government either. I don't think the federal government has any business keeping you from having anything like that, because it's part of our Second Amendment guaranteed right to keep and bear arms. Now, I think it's a stupid thing to do. I think it's a stupid thing to have other than a toy. I don't even think there's really a real good outside of a bona fide machine gun mounted on top of something in a fixed position defending a military strong point. I don't think there's any reason to have a full auto weapon other than for that, for practical purposes. Now, do I believe you should have the right to have it? Absolutely. I think just like open carry, I think open carry is our right. I think there's absolutely should not limit that. However, is it what I do? No.
Technically, it's not sound.
I just don't think it's a good. Now, and people argue that point. You know what? That's okay. If you think that wearing an open gun deters crime, then wear an open gun. That's fine. I don't care. But I don't do it. On occasion, I do. I've now that I get out and I'm like, oh man, I got to walk from here to there, and I do.
Don't really want to untuck my shirt and tuck my shirt back.
Sometimes I leave it open now. I don't worry about it. But I don't.
Same here, but I don't go out of the house with the intention of carrying openly for any. Once again, there's no logical reason to do it for me personally. I
got an update on that.
Oh yeah,
I have Target.
Target store.
Target store.
Oh, okay.
In the Target store this past week, speaking to one of the people in Target, said, I hadn't heard Target's position on this. What is it? What are y'all doing? And this is for the Bradfordville store.
Okay.
So, lady there said, our policy is, if you've got a gun that's in a holster, and you're not taking it out, you're just walking around with your gun in your holster, we're not going to do anything about it. So,
cool. Publix took a similar stance.
They did. And of course, Cliff Thale wrote a stupid article.
We got all these people saying, "I'm never shopping at Publix." Yeah, I bet you will.
We don't.
You go pay Whole Food prices a few times, and you got Winn-Dixie and Aldi saying, we want you to leave your gun in the car, and then you got Publix going, well, we're going to allow people to abide by the law, and do what they're going to do, and then people are mad at Publix. I'm mad at Winn-Dixie Aldi because that's what's going to be in Mariana. They closed the Winn-Dixie's closing, they're rebranding it as an Aldi, and they're going, you can't carry a gun in here. We want you to leave your gun in your car. They didn't say open carry. They said we request our
No gun.
shoppers leave their gun in the car,
Nope.
which leaves Walmart and then the discount grocery store over there, which is that's kind of cool shopping in one of those old grocery stores where you go in, it has that old grocery store smell, you know, like the old Piggly Wiggly back in the day. You know, when you go in there, when you travel, you run in those. I'm like, man, this is cool. Everything costs a little more sometimes, but you know, they keep the prescription, there's the non-prescription stuff locked up in the
Nah,
Hello?
That's somebody else.
So, but I, you know, people get mad at Publix. Well, what was Publix going to do? They're a southern grocery store. In the South, and the South is predominantly conservative, and conservatives predominantly believe in firearms. And if they come out with an anti-gun position, what policy did you think they were going to come up with?
I mean, the only people that were going to protest that are the only thing they're buying is tofu anyway. So
no, it's just the people that just don't want. And you know what? I can see where if guns offend you, they make you uncomfortable, and there's a lot of people. Then you don't want to go, and you're there with your kid in the shopping cart, and you look over there, and somebody you don't know has got this gun exposed on a big holster. You know what? You're just not used to it. That's what it is. You just haven't seen it, and you think that if you don't see it, then the world's a safer place. Well, in my opinion, if you do see it, the world's a safer place. Because and it used to be the argument where law enforcement, we want to make sure our deputies show up on a scene that open guns distract our deputies from doing their job. Well, no, I think that it's just the opposite. I want to know when I go to a call who's armed and who's not armed.
I pretty much presume everybody used to presume everybody was armed.
Yeah, open carry means you're probably on my side. We'll be right back. And we're back. So I did some. I've been doing a lot of vehicle dealing here lately, and the question came up. I just we talk about warranties. You need to get those phone calls about those crazy warranties and stuff. You know, we've been trying to contact
to reach you about your car warranty.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we laugh about those things, and people. And I see stuff online. Mechanics talking about, man, you know, they're so hard to deal with these warranty companies. I'm pretty sure those things are. You know, but I buy new stuff. I also buy a lot of used stuff because, you know, the security company I got, we buy a lot of used vehicles because I can afford them and I pay cash for them, you know, and then put them out on the road and run them for a little while. But what gets me is the dadgum expenses to get those things fixed. It's crazy. And the other day I was at Chipola Ford and bought a Explorer for my daughter, and it was one I was able to fork out the money, pay cash for, and it broke down the road, and I'm like, hey, gum, you know, it costs $1,200 to put an alternator on one, and that was after I had talked to, not at the Mariana Ford, but at the one somewhere else, and I'm like, my Lord. So I went back, and I said, y'all got a warranty for this thing? From the dealership, one that I can trust. Mm-hmm. And they gave me a price on it, and I'm like, man, let me think about this. And you know, I got a warranty for 4 years and 48,000 miles for about 3 times what an alternator would cost. For another 4 years and 48,000 miles on that thing, and the chances of something that I bought that's got over 100,000 miles on it, that's 9 years old, knowing what I pay. I had a CV axle on one of our Frontiers the other day replaced, and a strut, and it was $2,200 somewhere. And I mean, it's crazy what mechanics. I mean, the hourly rates are through. Mm-hmm. But having to buy all these computers now, it ain't like, you know. Remember, Paul, you ever replaced an alternator before?
Ever what?
Replaced an alternator on an older pickup
truck.
Older
vehicles.
It's a couple of bolts.
Yep.
You loosen it up. You take it off. You unplug a little wire, and take another wire off, the bigger wire off, unplug a little pair with a plug with 2 wires on it. You take the belt off, you take it off, you put a new one on there, and you tighten it up and plug it back in, right?
Done.
It'll take 30 minutes. This thing, they had to discharge the air conditioner. What? They had to drain the coolant. They had to take half the top of the motor off to get to the doggone thing, and it was crazy.
There's the cost.
And so,
what year was this car?
This is 2016, man. Yeah. Now, good truck, but just something that simple now is, so I don't know. Y'all when y'all buy vehicles, y'all buy warranties with them?
I buy every warranty I can get.
Well, I mean, me and JD do on new trucks. We buy
On
the.
new- on
We
a
want
new
at
car,
least
I buy
100,000 miles bumper to bumper nowadays because it's
Just with
just.
the amount of electronics and
Yeah.
little widgets and doohickeys and all that stuff that I would have no clue on how to fix.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a commercial today. It's
Oh,
like
I'm-
you're talking about these warranty things. It's, if your car was then 20 years old, you can get warranty for it used. I don't know how legit it is, but
You got to
have to
do
really do
your
some
due
checking.
diligence.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got to
right.
do your due diligence.
gotta
Here's
do
what
your
I
time,
suggest: is you talk to a local dealer or a local mechanic, the place you go get your stuff done, and you go, which ones do you recommend? Because they are the ones that deal with the companies. They are the ones that have to. Because what'll happen is that a lot of some of these insurance companies that do the warranties will pay the full hourly rate. Some won't. Some will pay $80
yeah.
bucks. Some will pay the full rate. You know, you need to go talk
It's
to
kind
them
of like
and
health,
find out.
kind of like health insurance. The same thing. You go in there and say, "I'm not using my insurance. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you money to
Well,
do
it
this."
costs more.
Oh yeah. Well, no. I'm going to pay you in cash.
Oh.
I had some wisdom tooth taken out not too long ago. Yeah, I got 3 other. I still got 3 left. I had.
You only had one taken out?
Yeah, because I'm
25% less wise.
It's complicated, Fred. My wisdom teeth are complicated. But I went. He goes, "Oh, what kind of insurance do you have?" I don't have insurance. Well, I'm like, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you in $100 bills to do this. And
I bet he piped up then.
pull the bill up. He pulled the procedure up, and it would have cost the insurance company like $4,000 to do my tooth. I paid him $1,000. So
Oh, really?
25% of what
Really?
what they would have charged the insurance company by paying cash to the dentist, and because I don't have dental insurance. But anyway,
There you have it.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. So, what are you playing with over there now? Or is that better for the fishing segment, or are you?
I don't want to take over Paul's fishing segment, but
He's
it's
got some stories
It's
to
some
tell.
fishing stuff. Just got back from Colorado.
Is that a bunch of nose rings or something over there? What do you got?
Yeah, so
he has been to Colorado. I'm just saying.
so did a few things out there. Mainly,
One of them's fuzzy.
Smoke a lot of weed.
Yep, there was some weed people there. I actually had a guide on the first day, and I forgot to bring the sticker. He had his own Grateful Dead sticker with his image in it. And this guy, we got in his truck to go to the river, and I'm like, phew,
I bet he used
Was
Sims.
he playing banjo music?
Little contact high.
contact.
Did he wear a lot of
high.
Sims apparel?
He did.
Yeah, that's why.
Uh,
They have Grateful Dead Sims.
Well, no, this guy is like, because there were several guys. There was a bunch of us going on the first day. Mm-hmm. And I said, I want the guy with the longest beard. Because, usually the guy with the longest beard, he's been at it for a while.
Right.
Yeah, growing the beard for a while, but
Yeah. And he was a good guide. It was just very hard fishing that first day. It was wade fishing. And if you've ever felt like
Kind of limits where you can go, Fred.
it does, not only that, I learned what it's like to have waders filled up with 40-degree water. That is not a pleasant thing.
Hole in them, or did you fall down?
Fall down.
Okay. Step on a rock wrong.
Yeah, the rocks were extremely slick.
Yeah.
Because the river was way down, and the fishing was hard. So it was not. And that first day, I hung probably 4 of them and landed 1. And the reason that when I say hung them, that means hooked them and got them close. But if the flies that you were fishing with
That's
this
what
time
that
of
is.
year are little bitty flies, and I'll pick one up and show you just how small they are. You probably won't even be able to
it
see
looks like the
Look how
size
little that is.
of little earrings to me.
All right, you see that hook?
No, but yeah, no, I can tell there's something
Wow.
there. What size hook is that?
That is a
Like
28 size
28?
size hook. And
Where normal brim hook that we fish with is a 6.
Yeah.
6 or an 8 for brim.
Right.
So this
Right.
is a
So
size
28?
28. How a trout sees that is beyond me, but they do.
Huh.
And what you're trying to do when you're fishing is imitate a fly or bug that fell in the water
Mm-hmm.
going downstream. And you have to float it naturally in order to get the fish to bite, and that's the trick to it. Because you have to roll cast, which is a more difficult cast than, because you can't back cast, because if you do, you wind up in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to roll the line, and it has to do like and land a certain way. Then you have to do something called mending a line, which will take that and float your bug down the river
At a natural
at
pace.
a natural pace.
Yeah.
And you can only do that for about 5 or 6 seconds.
And you may have 3 or 4 or 5 different speeds of current depending on where in
Correct,
the
yeah.
river you are. In that one little piece there, you may have
That's
just
correct.
flowing slower on the sides than it is in the middle or next to a rock or whatever else. So you just got to
So that was the
very
first day of
technical fishing. Yes,
It was. It was very technical. So the second day, I went on my own with another guide, and I found a very experienced guy. This guy was 20 years doing this, and we didn't fish the Eagle River that day. We fished the Colorado River, and it had been brought down. It was low. It was dammed. However, a guy came and picked me up at the hotel. We went to 30 minutes down the road to the Colorado River. Beautiful scenery. I mean, it's Colorado River, of course, goes through the Grand Canyon, so picture what it looks like at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and that's where I was. And we're floating down the river, and he gets me in this raft. And I thought we were going on like standard float boat, wooden boat. No, this was a raft outfitted for rapids.
Oh gosh.
And it had a stand in the front where you would basically strap your knees in. And so I'm going over class 2 rapids, and he's going, cast there.
Golly.
That's like riding the bull and
And I'm
fishing
like,
at the same time.
This is like a whitewater trip or a fly fishing. What is it? And,
Yeah.
and he's back there with 2 oars, and he was good because I'd have flipped that boat.
Yeah.
And we went over this, and he would tell me where to cast and then say mend up or mend down, depending on the current. And boy, I mean, I want to say I landed 6, hung probably 10 that I got close to the boat, because you figure you cannot, it's not like bass fishing.
That's right. You're not.
When
Yeah,
you set
you're
the
not
hook.
doing that.
Not only are you not going to feel him strike because that thing is so small, you have a sight indicator.
Yep. You got a little button on your line that
little button on you. When you see that go under, you set to the side,
upstream.
upstream.
Yep.
And you do it, and you strip at the same time. So it's a very technical set. And once you set, you got to hold that set.
Can't
Because
give
if
him
you
any
try
slack.
to turn the other way,
Yep.
that thing's going to come right out of his mouth.
Yep.
And it's very difficult to keep him on.
What kind of trout were you catching?
Browns and rainbows. And landed about a 17-inch brown, which is
Wow.
really big for there. You'll go to other parts of the country and they'll laugh at you with a
My daughter, I've told the story about my daughter
Yeah.
catching that 28-inch brown trout in the White River in
which is a huge
Missouri.
Yeah,
It's huge. That's huge anywhere.
anywhere you go. And you couldn't. The guide was able to see some of the fish. I couldn't. I mean, I had polarized glasses, and this is not my first time fly fishing. I've done this for a long time.
Right.
And I'll tell you a trick. When you go with a guide fly fishing, tell him that you don't know anything about fly fishing,
Right.
because it's different everywhere you go in different parts of the country to go fly fishing. It's just different. And unless you're just that's all you do is fly fish, you need a guide, because they're going to tell you what
bait's
Yeah, what-
working, what's hatching, what's
right.
And that little bait would float on the water.
It would not.
Okay, it would go underneath
It would
the
go
water.
under.
Okay.
And then so if you look at this rig here, you'll see I've got a dry fly, and this served as my strike indicator.
strike indicator. Yep.
And so what I would do is this little thing holds this bug, if you can see this.
Hey, that's what 4 or 5
Okay.
feet. 4 or 5 feet.
And what
below.
pound line is that? Is that like 2
That is
pound?
probably a 3.5 pound,
3.
3.5 pound tippet. That
You get any
tie-
strikes on the surface fly?
I did not. I was really, because that's what you want is a
Sure.
dry fly hit, and they were spawning this time of year, and they weren't hitting it. One trick I did learn was on the leader, because normally you get a tapered. I was brought up, you buy a tapered leader that leads into a tippet. What he did was he got these little bitty rings, if you can see that, Paul,
Yep.
and you tie that on, and then you tie your tippet, which is the last line that you tie your fly to. That's the 3.5
What we call a
pound.
leader.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have a leader that goes to a tippet. rather than tie the tippet onto the line, you tie this little ring,
And that way you can change them out.
and that way you can change it out. Either, and not only that, when you have this on there, the nymph, which is the little bitty fly I was showing, floats directly under it instead of floating, trailing off down the thing. And I caught more fish. Use that little bitty ring on the end of that leader. Made all the difference.
So here's the thing, Fred, and you said listen to your guide, tell them you don't know anything. That is the way you should always go into any. If you're with a professional guide,
Yeah.
whether it be saltwater, freshwater, fly fishing, bass fishing, whatever, listen to that guy because it like Paul spends 300 plus days a year on the water.
And ladies always listen better than men.
Yeah, and they
Always.
do. And I'll tell you this, and I as a firearms instructor that has taught a lot of men and women to shoot, I would much rather have a woman student because they listen. You just have to be careful what you say to women, not in a bad way. You just have to give very precise instructions, and they will listen to those very precise instructions and follow them very carefully. Where guys, think they
know how to do
know or they hear every fourth word. And I thought you said so and so. No, that's not what I said. But anyway, it's just very different.
This guide was, and I told him, have you fly? Well, he saw my rod. I have, it's not a novice rod, but I said, look, you treat me like I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Because I want to learn whatever.
Absolutely.
You got going.
Yep.
And he did. He taught me quite a bit, just in stuff that I hadn't done before, and I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And
A great guide's a great teacher.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
All right, we'll be right back. Talk Captain Paul.
And we're back. Sorry, guys, I had to step out for just a minute.
We
Had to go sign something, and
We learned about fly rods and tapered.
Yeah, it's a
Little-
yeah, see, I would
how
have
little
been
bitty that
happy
hook
to.
is.
And I was watching, I was looking, and I realized that I was not going to retain any of that information at all. I'm glad that Fred's passionate about it, and I care, Fred, I really do. But I don't feel like I've lost anything by not catching the last part of that conversation. 'Cause,
Well, you didn't see my little bitty bug.
I think it's little.
okay, all right. Well, can't nobody else see? I see that is tiny, Fred. That's not the first time you've heard
Yeah,
that.
they
I'm
made
sure.
a hook that small.
Anyway, all right. So usually on the break, you say something about going fishing.
How about
Fred.
the local fishing?
Well,
How
I
about
tell
the-
you, the local fishing has been excellent. The bass fishing has been good. Actually, I'm starting to find some crappie schooled up. Just found some of them yesterday, but that's coming. That's going to be so fun. And the stripers and hybrids have been biting. But man, I tell you what, I took my wife way up Spring Creek. Have you ever been way up above?
I've been way up Spring Creek where they start to run into the little gates and stuff where you have the. Am I thinking right?
I'm talking. Remember, there's an old it's the
a couple of
Spring
lakes
Creek
up-
Road. You go up past that, and you got Decatur Lake, and it turns actually into a clear water. You can see the bottom and
Really?
8 foot of water. It's so beautiful up there. But man, I tell you what, it was just. That's probably the
I
prettiest
tell you,
place.
I went over the Flint and the Chattahoochee last weekend on the way up to Troy to visit my daughter at college, and they're green. They're
Well,
clear,
you got no rain.
way clearer water. Usually you can red
That's right.
stained see coon tracks floating down the river is so muddy.
That's right.
But I looked down there and was like, wow, they're just both of those rivers are just gorgeous right
Yeah,
now.
we ain't had no rain. The fishing the fishing's been excellent. I brought some baits to show what's kind of this time of year. The bass are feeding up hybrids, and the crappie are starting to do it too. They're feeding up on bait, getting ready for the winter. And I want to show the folks. I'm sure JD, you've heard of an Alabama rig.
Umbrella rig.
I've got one of those.
I put this little tie strap on there just to hold it down. I push that up, and this thing looks like a little
School of bait.
school of bait. When you
And
come,
this is the time of year they're biting.
that's
at?
the time of year. I had a buddy of mine catch about 30 through the week fishing this.
That was like a Christmas
Look at that
ornament.
thing.
Yep.
It looks like something you'd
They
hang
call
above
it
your child.
chandelier
in a crib,
rig, but
you
it's
know?
called an Alabama rig. And you notice this middle one has a different color. That's the one they typically hit. And
Not uncommon to catch more than one
that's right.
at a time.
I mean, when you get a 5 or 6 pounder and another, they can get
Didn't
fun.
they?
in a hurry.
Are those been outlawed for BASS or one of the tournament trails? They outlawed.
BASS Paul Elias back 10, 15 years ago, won a tournament, beat everybody's butt by like 20 pounds, and they like, oh, we need to make that or
Can't-
we need to
can't
we
do
need
that
to-
no
we,
more.
We can't do that no more. But you're a lot of local tournaments you can fish it. It's just the pro level
Mm-hmm.
that you can't, BASS in particular. And some states will require that you only have 3 baits that have a hook on it, and 2 of them are teasers, or depending on the state. But up on Lake Seminole, Florida, and Georgia, you can fish 5.
Yeah.
But these little blades spin in it, and you'll be reeling that thing along, and it's hard to do this with guiding people that don't fish a lot, but people that do, because when you hit a stump, it'll hang. That's a $15, $20 bait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to pull into it, but when a bass hits it, they'll about jerk the rod out of your hand. That's fun fishing, but it's kind of hard to throw it all day long. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you have to use a real heavy action rod and big line and
That's right.
50,
Typically-
60-pound test braid.
Yeah, when I'm
Probably.
fishing over grass, like deep hydrilla, I'm going to throw braid, 50-pound braid, a 7.5-foot rod, medium heavy, where I can pop it when it hits the grass. When in open water, then I like use fluorocarbon, 20-pound fluorocarbon on a 7.5-foot medium action rod, because I want them to load into it.
Yep.
You know what
So
I mean?
you
Won't
can
take it
tie
out
a
of it.
leader onto the
Yeah, you could.
so the fluorocarbon
You could.
carbon leader.
Here's
on
another
the, on
another
the braid.
style that's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can throw, but that has really been working well, and it's going to continue all the way into February.
Do you know where that came from? You know where those
Alabama?
originated from?
Alabama.
No. It's an adaptation
From saltwater.
for saltwater
Yep.
big
Chandler.
game fishing
Yeah.
for marlin and tuna and stuff like that. They'd put a teaser umbrella out there that didn't have any hooks in it,
Right.
and they drag them behind the boat, and then you present the big bait that you're trying
Yeah.
to get the fish to bite behind
Yeah.
it. It looks like a medium-sized fish chasing a bunch of little fish to get the short enough big fish. I'm talking about a giant, marlin or whatever to come in and hit it.
There's
And
always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger
At certain
fish.
times of
It's
year
a
when
fact.
the bait gets a little bit bigger, I'll throw one this size and make that my middle one.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll seem like they just go to that middle one because it's a little bit different.
Yep.
And when you're reeling it, you want to reel it in and just change it. On a long rod, you can be pointing kind of down to the water out from you, and then just switch it. And that thing will be going on in a turn. And
Yeah.
you've seen shad do
Looks
that.
very
They'll-
natural.
And they'll
Yeah.
turn. That's when they bite it.
Yep.
For people out there on the radio that are going, what are they talking about? He's talking about fishing with a chandelier.
That's
out
right.
Here.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, they see
That
it
looks
on
like a
the-
deadgum chandelier.
Imagine
in
an
a mobile home.
umbrella that you left the framework in and took all the cloth off of and put some hooks on the tip.
It's like
of it.
something you would hang above your
That's
kid's
right.
crib.
That's 4 wires and a
Yeah.
wire in the middle, and it's got all these
hooks.
Now, one thing about this, you go get a striper on there and you try to sling that thing in the boat, and you know how aggressive they are. Them hooks are slinging everywhere, so be careful. I have them
You'd be
long, I
wearing-
got them pliers that are about a foot long, and I reach down there and just unhook it.
You can see you show up at the ER. What have you done? Well, I caught a big one.
He hung up like got it both hands in your ear.
Well, sir, you're going to have to let go of the fish.
Yeah, I love having kids out there catching them hybrids, and you're catching
Yeah.
some at 1 or 2, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. I grab the rod out here because you got to be careful. Now,
Fred
I bend the hooks in, the barbs.
Yeah. Oh
In
yeah.
case they ever stuck, but I haven't had it happen yet.
So y'all
They
come
just
y'all
come
come
right
here
out.
today with the tiniest hook I've ever seen
Yeah,
and the biggest batch of hooks I've ever seen.
Bigger.
It's funny. Fred was showing his strike indicator
Yeah.
top water. But we used to take. Remember the old the pop R's.
Yeah.
The full size. The
Yes,
big
the
pop
one.
R's.
Jack
And-
Wingate sold millions of them.
Right. Well, you take that big pop R, and on the back hook, take the treble hook had a ring in there.
Yep.
We'd tie a leader to that ring and put little Mepps jigs, the little like crappie jigs or crappie jigs, put Mepps jigs underneath them, and catch schooling. When the hybrids would start schooling, you throw that pop R out there, and those jigs hanging two jigs hanging below it, and you take that pop R and blow the water up, and they would hit those.
Yep.
They would hit those little
That's cool.
feather tail jigs in the Apalachicola River. We used to do that a lot. That and big popping corks, but
Yeah.
you do both of them, and that sometimes you'd catch them on the bait on top, and sometimes they'd hit that. The big ones would hit the bait on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
The
That's
little
cool.
ones that come up there and slap
That's
the
cool right there
ones on
now.
top. But
So-
I like that.
it's funny how stuff crosses over from
Yeah, yeah.
it's there's no better sport to me than trying to entice a fish to hit something that's not natural.
That's right.
That is
That's right.
that is a tremendous skill.
Yeah, fishing for bass with lures versus live bait
Yeah.
is two totally different things.
Oh yeah, it's
And as of right now, this past week, I have 191 people this year caught their personal best.
wow.
So awesome.
Can't beat
I'm
that.
trying to get 200. I think we're going to do it. You want to go fishing, buddy?
Sure.
Okay. But
How
it's
big-
been good.
What's your personal best, Grant?
Don't say 12 pounds.
Honest to God, I don't know. Couldn't
I
tell
don't
you.
think he's ever been bass fishing. Have you?
Oh yeah. of
Oh, you
course I
have?
I would,
Yeah.
but I mean, I didn't ever have a scale with
Right,
me. I'm
right.
just killing time with buddies, and we're just having fun.
And I had someone reach out from a couple weeks ago that called me about the show. If anybody has any questions about what we're talking about, and I didn't explain clearly like Charlie says on the radio, give me a call. You can call me at 850-264-7534 or email me at paultirefishing@gmail.com.
There you go.
And
I'll
if
be
you
glad
wanna
to answer any questions.
And this is on YouTube, so you can see this stuff. If you
Yeah.
want to look at the pictures
Yeah.
and take a look at all the crazy stuff we talk about. I hate when we're not more descriptive sometimes because we can see what we are talking about in this studio.
Right. I'm trying to get better at that.
But you
myself.
kind of got to go look at the YouTube channel.
You can
and-
see my new hat too.
Yes. Tell us about that hat.
Okay, this is a custom cowboy hat that they made out west to fit me.
Is that a
a
real
wee,
knife?
a wee little cowboy hat.
It's a wee little cowboy hat, but they put stuff on it. Everything on there is unique. So there's a Damascus steel knife that goes on there. They put my initials. They know I like rattlesnakes, so I got a rattlesnake band on it. The feathers, I have a dove feather because I like that kind of hunting. And the peacocks to honor my mother. She used to raise peacocks. And then we have 2 mountain lion claws and a piece of turquoise, and that's for my wife because she's part Indian, and of course the claws are where she does what
Scratch
she does.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, it scratches me out. Of course, they put a bullet on there because I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment, and it fits. I mean, it fits. Let me take these headphones off, and you can see it. It actually fits my head,
Yeah. Perfect.
and I feel like I want to go watch it. Reruns of Yellowstone again. Just
Yeah,
have
you
as
fit right in good.
I mean, I love this hat. I've been wearing it all day.
When you wasn't wearing the on
mean,
top
I-
of the squirrel hat,
Did say again?
you've been wearing it on top of the squirrel head.
No, well, I had the squirrel on today, so but
What size hat is it?
it's a 7 and an 1/8, I think.
Me and my wife are one size apart. Hers is a 6 and 7/8. Mine's a 7 7/8. All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Oh Lord.